This is Langley Speedway in West Virginia. Langley is short, flat and slow, and this can prove a real challenge. However, it is absolutely critical for your development not to give Langley a miss. If you can run a car fast around here, you can do it anywhere. It is all about throttle control, and you'll always do well in ovals if you know how to do it. This guide, as ever, is suitable for absolutely anyone, regardless of your oval experience. We're going to keep this very basic, and as long as you've completed the rookie onboarding and one race with other people, you'll be able to benefit from this. And hopefully with the aid of this guide, you can start putting in competitive lap times and figure out the ways for yourself to drive those times down further. So before we really get cracking, let's do a few laps at slow speed to figure out where everything is and how this place works. And we're just going to troll around the inside. Nice clear white line, little yellow curb there on the inside. Yellow curb on the inside will unsettle you if you bounce off it. We can also see just how flat this banking is. You can see here the middle and outer lanes are marked in the turns for us. Be a bad idea though. Very well worth paying very careful attention to what the line on the outside looks like as you go around. Just there, here. See, this will depend on your FOV, but it's not until the white line has almost entirely disappeared that we hit the wall. Just making note here of things like this bit of barrier, lots of writing on the walls, lots of billboards that you can use as markers. As we start to wind up the pace, let's first have a look at the racing line. It's a relatively simple line, far wide as you can on exit, as tight as you can on entry, looking to open up the wheel as soon as possible. As soon as you turn out of 1 and 2, you'll be ready to turn into 2 and 3 at full speed. Your wheel will never be straight once you get up to speed. We see that although it might look simple to the outside observer, it's not. As soon as we turn in here, the car starts to glide. Maintaining any kind of speed is very, very difficult. And crucially, if we try to get as good an exit as we possibly can and beans the throttle, round we go. This street stock can be a real handful on both entry and exit. Let's have a look at entry first. Now what will soon become apparent if you're not used to using the brakes in an oval car is that trying to just coast through the corners is extremely challenging. Without the brakes you'll really struggle to get enough rotation to turn the car. See, my hand's almost completely over and still nowhere near the inside. Even if you can take the speed off this way, you're putting a massive amount of stress on the right front tyre, and within a very few laps of the race starting, the tyres will be absolutely crying out for mercy and you'll be a sitting duck. And to prove that, what we're going to do is really wind the pace up a bit. I'm going to drive about 10 laps, and when we've done that, we're going to have a look at the tyre wear and see the results. Look at all that lock we're putting on the wheel. What you'll find as you get faster is that the car will just turn, and then at a certain point it will almost certainly it'll just stop turning. Just like that. No matter how far you twist the wheel, it will get tight and ride high. It's the tyres telling you you're putting too much load into them. See that the wheel is almost completely over now. 15 laps in and it's just refusing to turn. We are mega slow. Right, pull into the pits and check the tyres. The right front tyre is almost completely worn away. The right rear tyre has hardly been used. That's a waste of good rubber. So building up the speed again, let's see what happens with a different technique. Watch my inputs at the bottom left and right. Look at that, we've just taken nearly 4/10 off our session best almost immediately. I'm using the brake about 15 to 20%, and here's why. Using the brake like this does allow us to get the car rotated much more efficiently. And what we really want to do is use this to get as far to the inside as possible. Talk about corner exit in a moment, but first we'll just finish out this run, 16 laps, and see what's happened to the tyres. Here's a good lap, minimising that slide on entry. Not the best exit, but we'll worry about that in a second. Now, it may feel fast to throw it fast into the corners, but the less control you have, the slower you are. And time now to come into the pits, check our tyre wear. Oops. No one saw that. Quick Yui.
You've got damage on the left side.
We're now only using 10% of the rubber on the right front, and the right rear wear, while slightly more, is now nicely in balance. This is about what you want to see. And as we pull back onto the circuit, let's start thinking now about mid-corner and corner exits. You can expect to crash a lot while you find the limits on corner exit. Like so. There is absolutely nothing wrong while you're learning a track with going wide like that and smashing the car up. Just go and get a new one. The key thing is that you know why you crashed. What we want to be doing here is moving the wheel as little as possible. Ideally we want to just turn in, hold it steady, and if we've got our braking right, we shouldn't need to turn in any more mid-corner. The car should just go round and then we can unwind the wheel when we're ready. Too much Yahoo there. Let's think about trying to carry speed mid-corner. Starting the throttle at about a 15% application. And then through the middle of the corner you want to just very, very gradually feed it in. Watch how my input just very slightly inches up as I go around the corner. And now we see what happens if you overdo it. It's a very fine balance between carrying the speed and overdoing it. There is no way to develop your sense for this other than to turn laps and really pay attention, here we go, to what the car's telling you. And there's that 17 flat, and I think there's still a lot more time in there. All you can do is just listen to the car and what it's telling you. I want to try turning the sound of the tyres up. I'll tell you what this car can take. So with our PB falling nicely and our average lap time going the same way, now we can put it all together, think about corner exit. The thing about an oval is that faster laps make for faster laps. The faster you exit turn 4, the faster you'll get to the start-finish line, the faster you'll get to turn 1, and you'll have a better start for your next lap. Ooh, 600ths up and we lost it all on exit there. And what you want to start to get used to is as you feed that power in, unwind the wheel along with it. If you get it right, your power on should be nice and controlled, and it should be more or less in sync with unwinding the wheel. Starting to get good consistency here, lapping very close to the PB. Just missing a couple of hundredths on exit though. There we go. And we're into the 16s. Don't have to keep pushing immediately. A lot of the time it's better if you just go for consistency once you improve the PB. Try and just get a 10th or 2 underneath it rather than pushing to beat it. You may find you beat it by accident while doing that. Now for those of you coming across from road courses, it's an absolute trap to think that you can go in late and take a late apex. For one thing, if you try that, you're leaving buckets of space on the inside and someone will stick their nose up there and try to pass you. And for another, you just lose so much momentum that you lose on the roundabouts what you gained on the swings. Now, we've plenty of space to drive that time down even further, but 16.9 is still a very respectable time, and if you can do that, you'll be competitive in most splits. There is of course still plenty more work you can do. Why not come back and tell me how it goes? And if this has been helpful, drop me a like.